Hello, Moonbeams. How are you? This is Kat Sticker, and I'm here with Soul Shift Saturdays. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about finding the sacred in everyday life. So we'll find out what that means in a minute. But I'd like to welcome you to Soul Shift Saturdays and let you know we are broadcasting live in our Facebook group, Soul Shifters Guild, as well as on the Moonglow Life YouTube channel and on Twitch on the Moonglow Life Twitch channel. If you haven't been to our Facebook group, you should check it out because we post a lot of good materials in there, especially materials that supplement the shows. And today, as we're talking about finding the sacred in everyday life, what do you think that means? Well, it could mean that you save your sacred time for a small part of your week. If you set aside any time at all when you get a chance. For instance, maybe you go to church on Sunday, and Sunday's your day. The rest of the week you're busy doing other stuff. You don't have time for that. Or maybe you meditate every morning. And so the morning time, a lot of people have some sacred time set aside in the morning. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with doing your church on Sunday and your meditation in the morning. I think that's great. But what about the rest of your life? Do we have this separation of our spirituality from the rest of our life? And does it have to be that way? A lot of people have to go to work, go to an office, or go to some sort of job where they're interacting with the public maybe. They don't have a lot of quiet time set aside to think about things, or their job requires a lot of concentration. So how can you weave that in to your life in a way that makes sense? Let me see, I got some comments over here. Hi, I got 0Evan07 from Twitch on, and on Facebook. Hold on, on a StreamYard. I use StreamYard, and it doesn't tell me the people's names on Facebook unless they type them in. So I got to see who I have here. Michael. Hey, Michael. Michael's my husband. Of course, he's got to be watching me. All right. So what can you do to weave in some spirituality into your everyday life instead of just carving out this little piece whenever you have time as like an afterthought? Or maybe you make special time to set aside and it's not an afterthought, it's planned in, but still it's very isolated time for you to be spiritual. Well, there's a lot of things you can do, and when you do weave it in to your day-to-day life, life in general just starts feeling more special. You're going to find a lot more special moments throughout your life, and you'll start having more gratitude. And I know we talk on this show a lot about gratitude, but this is going to come naturally. This isn't like, well, we need to think of 3 things we're going to be grateful for right now. It's not that kind of exercise. It's just you'll naturally start feeling more gratitude throughout your day. And that in turn is going to raise up your vibration. And that in turn is going to give you a different perspective on life. It's going to let you raise up a little bit out of that ordinary time into this sacred time that gives you a higher perspective, so things don't bother you as much, or maybe you have more patience with other people. So it's important to have these sacred moments throughout. And there are a few ways that you can do this, and we're going to talk about 3 of those ways today. What I would call the main ways. And the first one is through contemplation. And there are many things we can contemplate. You may not have a lot of time on your hands to just sit around being a thinker, especially, for instance, I have a day job and I work in an office, and I have to be on the ball, like thinking about specific things for the job. And I don't have a lot of time to just sit there and ponder, but I do get times throughout the day when I can. So why not take that time to contemplate? And even if you're not spending a lot of time contemplating, if you spend just a few moments, it could be a split second noticing something, and you kind of tuck that away in your mind, and maybe you have time to think about it more later. But if you look at the world and everything in the world, there's so many miracles every day that we just take for granted as just how things are. It is just how things are. But why don't we notice the depth of the miracles around us? Why don't we notice about, for instance, babies, the miracle of birth, how babies form in the womb, and it's just a miracle how that all comes together in 9 months. A whole human being is formed, right? What about the eye? Just, if you have sight, the eye itself is an organ. It's a miraculous kind of camera that is embedded in your body, and it's one of the most complex organs we have is the eye. And you really can't recreate, or we haven't been able yet to recreate camera systems that replicate what our eyes do exactly. They kind of have gotten close now with some 3D and stuff, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And so that's the miracle, right? And just if you understand what mindfulness is, and today's show is really about being mindful, and mindful in a spiritual way. It's being in the moment that you're in, and recognizing the moment that you're in right now as being a standalone moment that's miraculous in many ways, and will never be exactly the same as this moment is right now ever again. This is a miraculous moment in time that was meant for you. So what about it is so special? Well, that's up to you to contemplate, right? But think about it. Like, why did this cat or this dog come in the room to me at this moment? Why did it choose to rain at this moment? Like, are any of these signs or synchronicities that is meant for me to have a message? Think about it. Maybe you just no, it's just the cat just walking in. Well, why? Is there something you need the cat knows you need? How did that cat even come into your life at all? Was that a miracle? I know I always bring up cats because I have a bunch of cats, right? And they all came to us under different circumstances. And each one of those circumstances was special, unique, miraculous. And when you start thinking about those kind of things as they occur throughout your day, that's really going to make you feel like you're living an extraordinary life. The ordinary becomes extraordinary, because it is. There's just so many moments throughout the day. You're like, gosh, I can't be in a miracle every second, right? But you can pick some times throughout the day when just for a split second you're aware of that. And then that gratitude just comes through. It just starts flowing. Your heart starts expanding. You feel connected, right? And so the next thing is connection. This is another way that you can experience the sacred in everyday life through connections. And now maybe some of your family's a pain in the butt. Maybe people at work in your community don't necessarily like them. But are those connections sacred? Why were those people put in your life? Are you supposed to do something to influence them? Are they supposed to do something to influence you? What about your connection with nature? I mean, some people, they want to have that connection with nature, and so they set aside time. I'm going to go for a walk in nature, right? But do you have to wait for that nature walk to connect with nature? Can you run some water out of the tap and connect with the element of water? Just drinking a cup of water, you're connecting with that element of water. It's nourishing your body. I have some plants right here. I have this this is lemon balm. I have some fresh herbs cut here on my desk. I can just smell the herb a little bit. And now I feel connected to this lemon balm. That's it. I don't have to, take a break from work, go walk outside in the garden. I just have some right here, and I'm just split second. Now I can go back to work, right? That's kind of revived my senses. I have that connection to nature. Like there's a million things you could do for a connection. And what about your connection to your own spirit? As you're noticing things, as you're being in these now moments, you're thinking, well, that's very grounding, but don't I have to be kind of ungrounded to connect with spirit? No, you really don't. I used to think that, it's one or the other, but it's not. You can be both at the same time. And actually, being grounded gives you the opportunity really to connect above and below at the same time. So this is a moment when you can connect to your higher self, and especially it's easier to do if you practice it more often. Connect to your higher self for guidance throughout the day. Or if you're continuously asking, what does that mean? Who are you asking? You can ask your higher self. Ask yourself. So, and then connection to the universe. Wow, that's even bigger, right? What part do you play in this spectacular orchestration of everything in the universe being in the perfect place at the right time to support life on our planet? If the sun was off just a little bit, if the moon was off just a little bit, could we even exist? No. Everything is playing a role. And so if we can feel that in our hearts, like how we're part of it, those kind of connections are really going to help us bring that sacredness into our everyday lives. And you don't have to just set aside a little bit of time once a week or a little bit of time in the morning or before you go to bed to think about this. You can think about it throughout your day. Oops, that's not what I want. All right, the third way is impact moments. Now, there are going to be moments that are opportunities for you to fulfill your purpose throughout the day, but you'll miss them if you just stay so busy that you're not being mindful of the moment. So when we put on our headphones and we're just listening to music to block out our feelings or block out our thoughts, or we're watching television or we're focused on something, we may miss those moments, right? So you have to be purposeful in looking for opportunities and questioning yourself. Is this an opportunity for me to make a difference? And do I mean like in a humanitarian way? Well, maybe a humanitarian way, but maybe it's not that. It's just a moment where you let your heart expand and maybe just let your energy exude out and impact somebody. Maybe it's just a smile, or a feeling that you're giving off. When you're giving off like the stink eye and some bad feelings, right? Versus when you're exuding, when you're shining, and people can feel that energy when you walk into the room. It's a different feeling than being like closed off from everyone. So I'm not saying you have to shine 24/7, but recognize when it's a moment that you could make an impact. Is this your opportunity to fulfill your purpose in this moment? You can do it throughout the day. You don't have to set it. You don't have to plan it out for 2 weeks before you do it. Just get in the habit of sharing what Spirit's telling you to share on a regular basis. Hey, let me see who's on. I don't even see my comments. Here we go. It's Rachel. Hi, Rachel. I'm so glad you could join today. So let me see. What we want to do today is do a little mindfulness meditation to round out this show. And, oh gosh, I clicked you up there, Facebook user. I think that was Michael. Sorry about that. So we have a little mindfulness meditation that we want to do to round out this show. And this is going to include practicing one complete breath cycle, first off. And then we have kind of a 3-part thing we're going to focus on to bring your awareness into your thoughts, your senses, and then your whole body. And this is going to be not only a grounding meditation that you can use when, you can use this whenever you want to diffuse like a negative state of mind, or you can even use it in an emergency situation where you're feeling just very like having a lot of pain or feeling very anxious or something like that. It's going to really help you in those ways. But right now we're just going to use it to relax and practice using mindfulness techniques. All right, so what I'm going to do first is change my webcam so that you don't have to stare at me. But I have a little crystalline setup over here, a little high vibe setup for you. It's got some herbs and crystals. So that zebra tower there, that's very grounding or very balancing. And then I have this right here is some obsidian, gold sheen obsidian, and that's very grounding. So I'm going to do that. And also then I'm going to get rid of that. And I need to find the music. Here we go. So hopefully you'll be able to hear this music a little bit as well as I read this meditation. All right. So I want you to get in a comfortable place and let's take a moment to allow your body to settle in. Find a comfortable position that allows your spine to be long, but with a natural curve in your low back. And you can close your eyes or you can keep them open with a soft gaze downward. Let your belly and your shoulders relax. And I'm going to guide you through one complete cycle of the breath process. So before we start, take a full breath in for 2 seconds and a long breath out. Now, allow the breath to find its natural rhythm. In and out. In and out. First, I want you to notice when the inhale begins, how it continues, when it ends, and whether there's a brief pause before the next inhale begins. So just become aware of your breath. All right. Now bring your awareness to whatever is going on for you right now. Give the weight of your body up to gravity. Allow your weight to sink into the points of contact between your body and the floor or the chair or the bed, wherever you are. And notice what sensations are there right now. If you notice any tension or resistance to painful or unpleasant sensations, gently turn towards them. Accept them as best you can. If you begin to tense around the breath, then let go a little bit with each out breath. Just soften into gravity. Feel the weight of your body. Now we're going to turn to the mind and notice any thoughts as they arise and pass away in the mind. See if you can let your thoughts come and go without becoming too identified with their content. Look at your thoughts, not from them. Observe them. Observe them like they were clouds in the sky. Relate to them as a flow of mental events. Remember, thoughts are not facts. And keep breathing through that cycle of breath. Now notice any feelings and emotions as they arise. Can you let these come and go without pushing away the ones you don't like or jumping onto the ones that you do like? Include everything within your awareness with a kindly perspective. And again, allow your awareness to gather around the experience of the breath in your body. Now drop your awareness inside the breath and feel different sensations in the front, back, and sides of your torso. Inside your torso and on the surface of your body. Feel all the different sensations of the breath as it flows in and out of your body. Can you rest within the flow of your breath? Just let everything change moment by moment. Use the breath to anchor your awareness in the present moment and your body. Now every time you notice your mind has wandered, remember you're having a magic moment of awareness. You've woken up. And then gently bring the mind back to the breath deep in your body. Now gently broaden and expand your awareness to include your entire body. Feel the weight and shape of your whole body as it sits, stands, or lies down. Feel the breath in the whole body. And imagine you're breathing in and out in all directions. This is called 360-degree breathing. If you have any pain or discomfort, make sure your awareness stays open to include this with a sense of compassion for yourself. Then soften your tension and resistance with each breath. Cultivate acceptance for all of your experience. Befriend it. Now broaden your awareness outside of your body even further. Become aware of sounds both inside and outside of the room. Be aware of any people around you, any animals. Now imagine expanding all of your awareness outward to include all of humanity. Imagine the whole world breathing. We're breathing in sync with planet Gaia and her inhabitants. Now gently open your eyes and move your body. And as you re-engage with the activities of your day, see if you can carry this awareness that you've cultivated with you. Right. And be sure to drink some water. So how was that? How was that meditation? Bringing your awareness to your breath, to your body, to your mind and your feelings. Just being right in the moment. And so this is really good practice, this type of meditation. And you don't really have to have a meditation to do this. You can just contemplate. Pick a moment and contemplate it. And be in it. And so that is not thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow, thinking about your goals, which are always, those are good things to do. But we're not living in the past. We're not living in the future. We're just living in the now moment. And that's what mindfulness is. That's what we're trying to get to with this, and how that can help you to actually raise your vibration and fulfill more of your purpose. It can actually end up making you healthier and bringing in more of your spiritual practice, weaving that in throughout your day instead of just picking a moment in time. So we're having the full moon this weekend, and I hope that you find health, love, and happiness in the full moon and beyond. So I don't know how I clicked the banner to come up. I'm banner happy. I appreciate you joining me today for this meditation and to talk a little bit about finding the sacred in everyday life. This video will be in our Facebook group, Soul Shifters Guild, as well as on our YouTube channel going forward. If you want to go back and watch the replay, you can watch it again. And for those watching the replay, I love you too. And we'll see you next week. You're welcome. Bye.